car. Yay! Nicholas!
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This week we have a very special video. We're going to take you inside, behind the scenes of a Korn Ferry Tour event. Starting right now, you'll be with us the whole way, from practice rounds, tour truck, fixing my clubs, making sure my lofts and lies are all good. This is going to be one of the first of hopefully a long series of behind the scenes, inside the ropes videos, and hope you guys enjoy. So let's go. I'm with my fiance America. We got Gary in the back. He's gonna be filming the entire week. Oh, he's not in focus, but headed to Whole Foods. America is gonna take me through what we like to eat during tournament weeks to help me play and perform my best. This is my first time playing this event at Lakewood National. I've heard great things about the golf course, great things about the event. I know a lot of people come out and watch, so looking forward to that. It's a 3-hour drive, which also makes this event special because there's only a few events we can go to every year and drive to. Normally it's a flight. And then in the middle of the year, you know, we're places like Kansas City and Wichita, a little bit further from home. So whenever I can pack up the car and drive on over, it's a bonus. I've never played this golf course and never played this event. So you guys will get a look into how I go to a course for the first time, what I do in my practice rounds to prepare, target lines off the tee, and a game plan, a general game plan will be the most important things, as well as knowing which way the wind direction will be. Then we're gonna head to the course, do a little bit of practice. I'm gonna show you the inside of a Tireless tour truck, and then get back to the host house for the week and watch some Masters. We got Rory and Bryson kind of going at it. A lot of other good names up there on the leaderboard, but it should be a fun watch. So hopefully get some time to sit back, relax, and watch that Masters. So we'll see you guys. Heard great things about this golf course. So we'll see. Here we go.
Turn right onto Lakewood National Parkway.
I mean, look how pure the course looks. It looks overseeded. I was expecting some Bermuda everywhere, but this looks overseeded, which is awesome because that's the kind of grass that I grew up on. Obviously, I won't really know until I get on the course, but we're driving to the house right now, staying at one of my close family friends' in-laws' house. They graciously let us stay here this week, but it is right on the driving range, so pretty ideal setup this week. This is amazing. Right on the course. I mean, I could see the driving range from here. So we will not be using the car this week. We can just walk right out to the course. And if I'm late for my tee time, I'll just walk right there to hole number 1. So this is perfect.
The butter is, well, the butter will be fine once it's solidified. So we're unpacking the groceries. We just got to the Airbnb. We went to Whole Foods. This is kind of our favorite grocery store. They tend to have the highest quality ingredients and just the best quality food overall. We kind of did a little basic grocery run. So we got stuff for breakfast, which is eggs, turkey, bacon. We usually do high protein breakfast. Have found that that's kind of the best way to start the day. We have organic berries. I drink coffee, James does not, so we got that. What else did we get? We got some stuff for dinner tonight. We're making a stir fry with chicken.
It's also Master Sunday.
It's Master Sunday, so we got chips and guac. We need a dip to watch with the TV.
One note, why do we like these chips? I mean, I'll let you, she kind of found these chips and I've loved them ever since.
Yeah, so like we're very particular about the kind of ingredients and the specific brands that we use. So we love Siete. We always look at the back of the bag and kind of read the ingredients and make sure first that all of the ingredients are recognizable and that they're whole foods, and we stay away from seed oils. And like, for example, these ingredients, it's cassava flour, avocado oil, coconut flour, sea salt, and psyllium husk powder. So all of these ingredients are recognizable, healthy, and yeah. What else?
Vital Farms eggs. We also love these eggs, honestly, just because of the taste. We love Vital Farms eggs. They're pasture raised, which is very important, organic too. Another thing, obviously, like if you can't prioritize organic, this is actually important, I'll say this. Another thing, we try to use organic as much as we can, but also understand that it's not always feasible, but we do try to prioritize getting organic foods for the foods that we eat daily. So eggs we eat daily, berries we eat daily. So these are the things that we are gonna invest organic in. Turkey bacon we eat daily. So, you know, we can't always do organic, but the foods that we eat daily, we definitely prioritize And then
that.
things like avocados that have like a thick skin. It's not necessarily super important, right, to get
Correct.
organic because it doesn't seep into the actual food. So
Correct.
America's taught me all these little tricks, and I try to stay as healthy as I can on the road. And yeah, she's a certified health coach, which is nice to have around for sure. Because all these little things add up, and I think it's important to just feel good in order to play your best. And that's that comes down to what we eat and how we prep for events, and all this stuff here will be consumed by the end of the week.
Yeah, and as an athlete, you do have to invest in your health. It's really part of your career and makes a big difference. So
let's get these in the fridge, get them packed, and then we can get over to the golf course. Hello, thank you. So we finally made it to the clubhouse, and I'm going to show you what registration looks like for a Korn Ferry Tour event. What up, Chad? How's it going? Hey. How are you? Good. How you guys doing?
We are great.
My name is James Nicholas. Last name Nicholas. I'm in the Pro-Am. Got that. Yep, I got the. I saw the sheet early, so.
You are all over it.
I'm getting there.
LVKD.
LVKD. Log in. Okay. No, they're doing headshots this week on Tuesday.
On Tuesday.
Okay.
So bring all your.
Need a new sponsor, so you know the deal.
Yes.
I need a credit card.
There you go.
Thank you. Put the right end in here. We shall be good.
And then yardage book. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's my mind is on the Masters.
And the Masters have started. I don't blame you.
All right, receipt. No, it's good.
Good.
There you go. They've got gifts at the next table.
Wow, look at this.
Go down there.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Hey, how are you? I'm James.
Ron Snell, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Ron.
Last name?
Nicholas.
We'll see you again at some point.
So this has no slope on it.
Perfect.
So no penalties. You don't have to worry
Don't
about
got to worry about anything like
Yeah.
that. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good luck this week, man.
Yeah, thank
if
you.
If you need anything, I'll be here the next couple
Awesome.
days.
Hey, I'm James, by the way.
Dickie Pride.
Dickie, yeah, nice to meet you.
But I'll be out here the next couple days. So if you have any problems or questions, just swing back by and I'll help you out.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Got these sweet blade rangefinders for the week. This is the first week we're going to be allowed to use rangefinders in tournaments, so that'll be interesting. But head to locker. Tireless would leave balls and gloves in there, and I'll show you what else is in there. So we got a rangefinder. We're going to put it in there, but Tireless will leave this for us every single week, which has 24 balls. I play the Pro V1. We got those, and then they'll typically leave 3 pairs of gloves. I use the Player Soft medium large gloves, and then other than that, I got my rangefinder, my credential, and then any badges for media like you guys this week, and we're good to go. So we're all registered. We've got our balls and gloves of the week. Now we're gonna head over to Titleist truck to show them. They're making a wedge for me, and then they're also gonna check my lofts and lies. And then we're just gonna show you what else they do for us. So let's go. We're gonna meet up with Dino. Dino is the tour rep here on the Korn Ferry Tour. He fit me for all my clubs, my irons and wedges, and he's gonna show us a little bit about what he does inside the truck. What's up, guys? I'm with Dino, who is the manager of golf club promotions for Tireless on the Korn Ferry Tour. He's gonna show us the inside of the truck, so let's go.
Come on in. Welcome to the Tireless Tour truck. This is where we work with players on a weekly basis to make sure their equipment is ready for each week as they prepare for the tournament. We typically work with players Monday through Wednesday, and as they see the golf course, a little different this week because we've got Easter Sunday, so we're trying to finish up on Saturday. Yep. But we'll work with the different players, make sure that they have the equipment that they need for that specific week, even though a lot of them have already been pre-fit and ready to go for the season. But each week requires sometimes a little different tool just to navigate around the golf course. So this is, we have two different stations on both sides of the truck. Typically we have two builders out here, and we carry all of the different weights that we utilize for our different GT products, from the drivers to the fairways as well as the hybrids. We carry a variety of different shafts from the different shaft companies. So the shaft companies will come in weekly, make sure that we have all the updated equipment that they would like us to use with the different players. Sometimes we have some legacy product because some players just insist on using a shaft that they've used for a number of years. In a lot of cases, it's just working with backups. Anytime we're working with a new driver or a new fairway, we're typically looking at more current product so that we know we have a longevity of that shaft for a number of years, rather than looking at stuff. But again, we use all the different companies, and as I said, they come in and they update our trailer to make sure that we're stocked with all the latest and the greatest as far as the shafts go. As we move down, we start to get into some of our GT products that we keep. We keep a variety of different lofts as far as the GT2s and the GT3s and the fairway woods. We start to work over to our new GT2 and GT3 hybrids that we just introduced on the Korn Ferry Tour last week in Savannah, and continuing up with a little bit of that this week. And then down here we've got our GT2, GT3, and GT4 drivers. We keep a variety of different lofts amongst those, and just to make sure that the players are dialed in with their gamer product as well as their backup product, because it's we really like the fact that if a player has a backup head, so in case anything happens throughout the course of the round, they're ready to just go ahead and go for the next day.
I've had a few times where I've had my gamer break and Dino set me up with a backup, so I was able to just throw that on instead of having to wait a whole other week to get a new one or ship it. So that's been a big thing for me.
Yep. That's the nice thing about the adjustability is the players are capable of keeping that in the locker or in their car so that they're always prepared for that. Just like the shafts, we've got all the different grips. We offer everything from round to ribbed to 60 to 58s. We've got cords, we've got non-cords. So we try to keep as much as we possibly can in here. Sometimes we do find ourselves needing certain grips, but for the most part we try to carry everything that we can. So we've got both sides of the trailer stocked with all the different grips. We got our 58s and our 60s, and then we start to work down to our ribbed grips as well. As I said earlier, we're able to check loft and lies and regrips for players. So oftentimes on a week like this, we're regripping the golf clubs. With the Korn Ferry Tour, we started off international, and this is our second domestic event of the year. So a lot of players are still updating their grips from the off season, where some players maybe haven't had their grips changed since October or November. So they're kind of chomping at the bits to get some nice fresh grips for the week and for the next couple of events. Exactly, and again, that's what we're here to do. We're here to make sure that you guys have fresh loft and lies and fresh grips on a regular basis. So everything else that we do as far as building the golf clubs and testing golf clubs is something that we're capable of doing and ready to do. But again, most players are on a week-to-week basis just checking loft and lies and regrips. And it's not every week. Some players will do that every week. The vast majority of players are probably checking their loft and lies every third or fourth event.
And that's something that we're doing today. This is my first time, I think, ever checking my lofts and lies. I normally just hit it and hope it's okay. So Dino's going to check them out for me, make sure they're still good.
So we're going to check his loft and lies and make sure everything's good there. Again, this is our station where we check our loft and lies. We've got our Tireless loft and line machine here. It allows us to keep the specs and gather the specs so that we know Then every time the player comes in, we can just utilize this computer system, and it'll tell us where their loft and lie should be, and then we can match it up to where it's at and make any adjustments that we need because of travel or something that happened while playing on the golf course or hitting off of mats, whatever the case may be.
I've had a lot of clubs break in travel, so I'm not new to that.
And that's what we're here to do. Is we're here to be doctors and help that out. But yeah, I mean, again, it's no different than what we would see in our manufacturing facility, just on a smaller scale that we're able to travel with.
Cool.
Over here is our putter area. Our putter rep, Bucky Co, works with the different players on the Korn Ferry Tour, showing them different models that we have. Again, not too dissimilar from the drivers and fairways and irons. He's checking loft and lies for players. He's just checking swing weights for players. Players are just fine-tuning that equipment to make sure, again, everything's right. And again, these first few events that we're here in the U.S., players are really trying to narrow that down because they want to play that equipment for the remainder of the year. Yeah. So we find ourselves very busy these first two events doing this and just getting players prepped so that they're not having to worry about that as the season goes on. But again, we carry all the different shafts. We have a lot of the different Scotty Cameron putter head covers, so players can have their own little personal touch to the head covers. So this is a drawer that the players really love to kind of come in and see.
They dig on in.
Yeah, they dig in and make sure they have what they need. As we move through the trailer, back here is Shane Dial, who works with us on wedges. And he's actually going to be working with James today and making sure that he gets a fresh groove to start off this Florida swing.
All right, Shane. Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you too, James. Welcome to the tour truck, buddy.
Thank you.
As you know, this is the busiest room on the entire tour truck.
Yep.
We got a lot of cool toys that we get to play with, including your K-Star that we get to build today.
Yeah.
So
show us how it's done.
Pretty fun environment in here. So yeah, so you play K-Star, which is a very unique wedge, which is pretty neat. It's something that we introduced last year when we introduced SM10. The K-Star is known for its versatility, and that's something that a lot of players look for in terms of a wedge, especially from week to week when you guys change conditions. And
soft, grainy, firm, bent, it changes every single week.
Exactly. So, having a wedge that can battle each condition week to week is that much more helpful when you guys go out. That's the goal.
Yep.
So we're going to build you a new one today from start to finish, which is going to be pretty neat. So we're going to go from bending it, pre-bending it, all the way over to cutting it, getting it prepped on the wheel, getting it gripped up, checking the loft and lie, and then stamping it.
And then ready to hit some pitches.
Absolutely. Let's go. So right now what I'm doing is I'm putting it in our loft and line machine. So James plays his 60 degree at 60 degrees of loft and 63 degrees of lie. And when we talk about loft and lie, there's a standardization when it comes to this types of stuff. So our standard lie would be 64 degrees. So because James plays it at 63, he plays it at 1 degree flat. So I'm going to check to see where this was made at. And if it's close to where he's at, then I can pull it out. If it's not close, then I'm going to bend it. So that way, whenever we cut it, the shaft length, the loft and lie, everything matches up. So that way, when we build it, everything's going to be perfect. We'll bring it in here, check the loft, which is 60, perfect. And we'll check the lie, we're at 63 and a half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it down with this bending bar a half a degree. So that way I can get his lie angle exactly perfect. So when I cut it, it is exactly going to be 35 inches cut when we get it built. And just like that, we are at 63 degrees of lie. So now we can pop it out and we come over to our length board here. Awesomely has our branding on it, the #1 wedge on the PGA Tour, it's the #1 wedge on the Korn Ferry Tour, and it's the #1 wedge on the LPGA Tour globally. So we're very proud of that. So James plays his 60 degree at 35 inches cut. So there's a couple different ways that you can go about this. So you can go about it at a cut length, which is what I'm measuring right now and marking, or what you can do is what we call end of grip. And so depending on how large the butt cap is, we can cut that length depending on the butt cap. So let's just say if, for instance, a player likes to play their wedge end of grip 35 1/8, and we know that they play a Tour Velvet, well, we can cut it at a specific length in order to get that exact measurement. So now that we get it measured from here, marked, now we come over here to our cutting wheel. So now I'm just measuring, making sure the blade's right on top of the line. and just reassuring that I get a nice, even cut around the shaft, so that way there's no burrs. And we can shut off this machine. We can throw the excess away. And then now we come back to our length board, and we put it on the board, and we use our measuring apparatus on the back here. Come in, and that is exactly 35 inches cut. So once we're done with that, now comes the fun part of actually gripping. So James plays a Tour Velvet Golf Pride with 2 wraps. And just to be sure, I think you're logo down, but I'm not.
I'm logo down.
You are logo
Yeah,
down.
logo down.
So he's logo down. He doesn't. I don't have to go to the computer.
I don't like the distractions.
Yeah. So now we're going to come over here so that I know that he's a 58, I can go to this exact line. And so by telling me that this exact line measures out the exact right amount of length for a 58 round grip, I can now put the shaft on and be able to cut the tape exactly the length of the grip. So what I like to do is I like to roll it in my hands to get it extremely tight against the metal, and then I'll take it and then I'll roll it. And what that does is it ensures that the tape is as tight as it can be up against the shaft. And you really want that, especially if you're adding multiple layers of tape, because if you don't, then what you're going to do is you're going to get a ripple effect or a bubble effect on the tape. So I'll roll it with my hand, make sure it's tight, spine it, and then I'll roll the tape. And then I'll take the excess and I'll put it down the shaft. So now that we get the tape done on the shaft, now it's time to grip. So now we're going to switch over here and we're going to pull out our hopper unit, which captures all the excess mineral spirits. And we want to make sure that the label of the shaft, so there's a label on this exact shaft that James plays. We want to make sure that it's completely vertically down and it's not moved one side or the other, because we don't want him to have a distraction when he's looking down. And he plays logo down. So what we'll do is we'll get some mineral spirits inside the grip. Make sure to get all that solvent, and then we just let it just slide onto the grip tape. And this does is it allows us to be able to put the grip on a lot smoother without the tackiness of the tape causing the grip to not move forward. So just like that, double check to make sure everything's straight. Everything is straight. Now we can move it out. And then what we do is once we're done, we want to make sure that butt cat is seated. And we'll give it one tap right on the floor. And we'll make sure that we clean up the grip, make sure there's no mineral spirits left. And now we get over to the assembly part. So now that we've got this assembled, we're going to pull up James's specs. So he plays the K-Star at D4 swing weight. So what is swing weight? So swing weight is a number that we achieve for feel. A lot of players play their wedges at D5, some players play it at D4, some players play it at D3, some players even play it at D0. It's all about player preference. And so we use these numbers and these letters to achieve feel for players. And that's what we're going to do here is we're going to put it on this scale. And what this does is it measures the balance point of the shaft with the head and the grip. And so James is at D4, and right now without any glue, without a ferrule on it, he is at D3.5. So in order to get to D4, I have to drill out and I have to pull a gram away from the head. And how we do that? We come right over here. So we have a drilling press on the truck, and what this allows us to do is it allows us to pull weight from this section. And what that does is it allows us to be able to achieve swing weight certain ways, and it allows us to be able to achieve overall weight as well. And so, again, a machine that's made in-house at Tireless, which is really cool. Not the drill press, but the machine that holds it. Turn on the drill press here. It gives me a readout of how fast it's running. And then all I do is just pull it down. And so this is all based by feel, and I've done this so many times, and so has Aaron Dill. Aaron, I hope you're watching this. We've just gotten accustomed on how much it feels to pull out the amount of grams out of the head. So with that, now we go back to the swing weight machine, and hopefully, if I do my job right, James, I don't know if I do.
Let's see what you got.
We should get D3 exactly. And that's a little high. And we got it.
There we go.
We got it exactly.
There we
D3.
go.
So now we can start the building process. So we use a really cool epoxy. It's called 810. It's made by 3M. This is a 10-minute cure. So put a little bit on the board. We use mixing sand so that way the shaft goes in centered. We use our mixing stick here to get the sand inside the epoxy, and then we mix it together. It's a two-part epoxy, and what's really cool about this epoxy is that it's temperature based. So if it's really warm outside, or let's just say it's really warm on the inside of the hosel, which it is because I just drilled some of it out, it's going to cure faster. So if you're building a golf club on a cold day, it's going to take a long time for it to cure. So this epoxy loves heat. So we just roll it around a little bit. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting a little bit of epoxy on the tip end of this shaft, so that way I can slide this ferrule on. And what that also does is it ensures that the ferrule and the club head don't separate. I'm sure you've had that happen.
Happens all the time.
Happens all the
Yeah.
time. The reason for that
Not
is
on my
because
wedges though, actually, which is interesting.
it better not happen on your
Yeah,
wedges.
it doesn't have my wedges.
So the reason for that separation is because they didn't put enough epoxy inside the ferrule, and so it slides.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wondered why.
Yeah. So if you ever leave your clubs in the car on a very hot day, that's the reason why.
Does it melt, or is it like just get?
It just expands.
Gotcha.
So what I'm doing right now is I'm just cleaning up the excess epoxy for preparation. And what this does, it allows me to make sure that the entire build, when I put it back on the swing weight scale, is exactly what it should be whenever I hand the wedge off to James. So we should achieve D4 completely built. And we are exactly D4. Sometimes it's just fun, getting to do this because it's so achieving whenever you achieve a perfect build.
If I mess up, it's user error, not the club.
I'm not going to say that, but if you want to, go right ahead. No. So what I'm doing now is I'm lining up the graphics to the leading edge. I'm also lining up the grip as well. So I want that grip and that shaft band on the back or label to be exactly in line, especially to James's preference. If he likes to see a grip one way or the other, I'll always ask him that. But you're a pretty simple guy. You like seeing that
grip.
Like to see that grip just go straight down, no logos. So I'm looking at it right now. It's a little bit open. So we're going to, closed. We're just going to move it ever so slightly, and that's perfect. So we're going to put it up here on the drying rack, and then we're going to let it sit for about 7 minutes, and then we'll ferrule prep.
Honestly, just do a bunch of all of them.
Just all of them?
Yeah, just pick. Do a little like.
Okay.
Those are sweet. I always love those.
Yeah.
The custom
do that.
Tireless wedge work ones. That's
Yeah.
sick. Look at that. This one looks sick. So he said
That is important too.
Every 9 weeks, we decided to change the wedge. So
That's right.
Nothing there and a lot there. It's ready to go. All right, Shane. Appreciate it. Thanks for showing us around.
You. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks
hope
for
you have a
coming
great
on the
week.
truck.
This is due for a chip-in.
Sounds great.
Thanks. All right, we're gonna head to the range, then head to the putting green, do some chipping, but just a brief practice session, just get my feel back. Again, we were in the car for 3 hours, so the goal of this is just to feel the club face, know where the club face is, get my feel down, loosen up the body, but no real strategic way I'm gonna go about this practice session. Just go hit some balls, hit some chips, hit some putts, then go home, rest, and get ready for tomorrow. What up, brother? How are you?
Today?
What do you say?
You get lunch today?
Not today. I just got here. Come on, no time for that. I'm gonna get some chips and guac for watch the Masters. It'll be a good afternoon. Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we got some Pro V1 blacks, and let's go hit some balls. Long car ride, long day. Feel where the club head is. See how the body feels. Oh, don't really put too much thought into this practice session, just getting that little rust off from that car ride. Travel days are always difficult, so it's important just to get your feels back, get a club in your hand. That way tomorrow's not as foreign. So these are one of the practice balls. Tireless does a great job. We have like brand new Pro V1, so this is the ball I play. It's really valuable to be able to play and practice with the same ball. So okay, I'm good. Body feels good. Swing feels good. Hit a couple chips, a couple putts, and get out of here.
Yo.
Let's go, dude.
What's up, man?
Well done.
Thanks.
Good playing.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations. That was fun. I was watching the playoff from back home. So
Nice.
yeah, good job. Good job.
Fun.
First thing I noticed is greens are very similar to Floridian and Old Palm, where I play in Florida. So again, I'm just gonna hit a couple putts, get the feel of them. They're very fast and they're very, very pure. But just get a good feel. Get a putter in my hands. See the ball roll end over end. Again, the purpose of this is just to do some minimal practice without fatiguing the body. That way tomorrow we know or have a little bit better idea of what to expect when we get on the golf course. They're so fast. Alright, let's go with some chips. I'm filming a little YouTube video this week, so showing the ins and outs of the Korn Ferry Tour.
Sick.
Staple right here.
No, not me.
We gotta get you in the gym. Do a little gym action with you. Come on. Come on. Driving in, I thought this was actually all overseeded, but it's just really green, good Bermuda. Means it's gonna be really, really grainy. So ball first contact on chipping is gonna be really important. So that's all I'm repping here. Just weight a little more forward, ball a little bit further back in the stance, and making sure I'm just able to get ball first contact. So I'm gonna go one far and then one to the mid one. Super grainy into the grain. So ball first is really important. A little short, it's actually biting a little bit more than I thought it would. Let's go to this closer one. That one kind of rolled up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, again, it's gonna be very grainy around these greens this week. Got a pretty good idea. Let's go home, relax, get settled, and then get ready for tomorrow. Like it's not like a pre-made sauce, right? It's just like a.
Well, it's like a jar. It's paste. So it's chili pepper flakes, sweet rice powder, garlic, onion, salt. Yeah.
There's no sugar in it?
Malt syrup.
It's delicious.
So it's some kind of there's some kind of sweet component.
Really good.
But
You know, I just noticed I'm wearing my Masters hoodie. I probably did it subconsciously when I picked it out. You know, but I just realized I'm wearing it. Because I have a couple more. Got these yet. Everything's pretty much finished, but she made some gochujang chicken, some chicken breasts and chicken thighs, white rice, and a veggie medley that I already ate. So sorry we didn't get to show you guys that, but super quick night. It's 8:45. We got in, did the Whole Foods run, got some practice, we registered, showed you guys the Titleist truck, did all that, came back, watched the end of the Masters, having dinner now, we're gonna get to bed, waking up at 6 a.m. for a practice round with 3 of my close buddies out here, Matthew Anderson, Gavin Cohen, and Chase Sinkowitz. Again, probably mispronounced Chase's name, but we'll fix it by the end of this video. And then yeah, we're gonna show you guys how we prepare for a course, especially seeing for the first time. I get a lot of questions about what do I do in practice rounds and stuff like that. So target lines, getting comfortable with the grain around the greens and the rough and the sand will be the main focuses, and we'll take you guys on that journey and show you a little bit of an inside look into a Korn Ferry Tour Pros practice round. So we'll see you tomorrow.